All right, here we go. Like, click, and subscribe. Do all that. This is week 1, the 1 o'clock games that happened on Sunday. So let's get to it. All right, here we go. The Patriots beat the Dolphins 21-11. Ryan Fitzpatrick was 20 for 30, 191 yards, no TDs, and 3 picks. Yeah, typical Fitzpatrick early in the season. You know, he gets better after that, but bottom line, early in the season, this is what he does. You know what I'm saying? Cam Newton, he didn't have the greatest of days. He was 15 for 19, 155 yards. He had 2 rushing TDs, though, so we thinking like Cam is back to regular Cam. And if you thought anybody else was doing anything on the offensive side, Julius Edelman had 57 yards. That's pretty much it. On the Dolphins side, Devontae Parker had about 47 yards. Jordan Howard had a rushing TD. But bottom line was, the Dolphins were outmatched in this one. Ryan Fitzpatrick, like I guess, once again, threw three picks, and that's how that went down for the series. And there you go. Cam Newton and his Patriots are starting the season off right with their first win of the season. Once again, they won 21-11. Cam throwing it up, Wakanda forever. They tried to take his chain towards the end of the game. Cam was like, get the hell out of here. You ain't taking my chain, or I'll run this over here. We running it for the Patriots scene. And then in our next game, we had the Seahawks, who beat the Falcons 38-25. Russell Wilson was 31-35, 322 yards, 4 TDs. Yeah, he was putting in work. Talking about he wants to be MVP. I got somebody from the black and purple has something to say about that, but that's either here nor there. You know what I mean? Carlos Hyde had 23 yards at a TD. DK Metcalf went off 95 yards at a TD. Matt Ryan went for 37 for 53, 450 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick. He had a highlight day, but that's Matt Ryan usually. You know what I'm saying? That's how he gets down. Todd Gurley, the new recruit for the Atlanta Falcons, he had 56 yards at a TD, 14 attempts. He was putting in work. Calvin Ridley was the one that saved the day for me in my fantasies. He had 130 yards, 2 TDs. The second TD came late in the third and late in the fourth. He was doing business. Both combined for 900 yards of total offense in this game. So, yeah, the offense was lit, and that's what they were doing out there. But bottom line is, Russell Wilson gets his first win of the season. Matt Ryan, as much as he could do, was not enough. And there you go. And the next game we have were the Bills, and they beat the Jets 27-17. Sam Darnold went for 21-35, 215 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Josh Adams had himself a TD. Jamison Crowder went for 115 yards and a TD. Josh Allen went ridiculous today. He was going off 33 for 46, 312 yards, 2 TDs, 1 rushing TD, and John Brown got 70 yards at a TD. Bottom line is, my man Josh was going crazy. He was getting busy in this game, and that's how it went down for this session. He was going off in the end zone, doing everything. I wish I had him on my fantasies, but I had Russell Wilson, and I had Dak Prescott, so my joints. But bottom line is, I wish I would have put him up there. But bottom line is, I won 2 out of my 3 of my fantasies, so everything's all good and gravy. But bottom line is, the Jets had nothing for the Bills, and we knew that coming into this game. Adam Gase, we need to put some subjugation on your head coaching abilities, because bottom line is, you're probably not going to last throughout this season. And here we go. Bears made a miraculous comeback in this one to defeat the Lions 27-13. Mitch Trubisky went 20 for 36, 242 yards, 3 TDs. Anthony Miller got himself 76 yards at a TD. Matt Stafford went 24 for 42, 297 yards, 1 TD, and 1 pick. Adrian Peterson, who was let go by the Redskins, who is now joined up with the Lions. He had about 93 yards of the day. TJ Hawkinson, that tight end, he was going ridiculous, 56 yards of the TD. He lit up fantasies. And bottom line in this one, the Lions were up 23-6 in this one. And bottom line is, Mitch Trubisky led his team back. I'm pretty sure Khalil Mack was like, hey, if you don't get it together, I'm going to lay the smack down on you. And Mitch Trubisky said, nah, we're going to get it together. Mitch Trubisky turned back into Mitch Trubisky and scored 21 unanswered points, and to finish them off 27-23. The Lions had it, and then they blew it. The Packers and the Vikings had an all-out offensive battle in this one, as the Packers go on to take the win over the Vikings 43-34. Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers things. 32 for 44, 364 yards, 4 TDs. And my man Aaron Jones came through, had 66 yards at a TD. Devontae Adams, the star of the day, 156 yards, 2 TDs. And on the other side, Kirk Cousins, 19 for 25, 260 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick. Dalvin Cook did his thing, 49 yards and 2 TDs. Adam Thielen had 110 yards, 2 TDs for his team too. So basically, it was an offensive flurry. But the offensive flurry of Kirk Cousins was not enough to stop the AR-15, or quote AR-12, of Aaron Rodgers. Bottom line here was, the Packers own the Vikings once again in the opening. I was going to wait for this one, but bottom line is we got to get to the elephant in the room. You already know what it is. The Eagles got beat by the Redskins, quote unquote, the Washington football team. You want me to explain how? Let me get through the stats first. Bottom line is, Dwayne Haskins, 17 for 31, 178 yards, 1 TD. Peyton Barber had 29 yards, but he had 2 TDs to cap off his day. Logan Thomas had 37 yards and a TD. Carson Wentz. You already know I'm about to say, 24 for 42, 270 yards and 2 TDs, but he also threw 2 picks, 2 crucial picks because of Washington's defense. Dallas Goedert had 101 yards and a TD. Boston Scott had 35 yards. That was pretty much it. I don't know if he got injured or something, but that was pretty much it to end his day. Carson Wentz, the big takeaway is the Redskins were down 17-0. Redskins scored 27 unanswered points to come back and beat them 27-17. But the big takeaway was Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was sacked 8 times in this game. Where did this Washington defense come from? Did it just come out of nowhere? Did it come out the blue? Bottom line is, they said season 1 opener, we ready for it. We ready for the defensive battle. And once again, he got sacked 8 times in this game. Philly, what the heck is going on in your life? And here we have the Raiders. The Raiders beat the Panthers 34-30. It was an epic battle in this one. This was one of the games of the day, honestly. Derek Carr had 22 for 30, 239 yards, 1 TD. Josh Jacobs had 93 yards and 3 TDs today. Josh Jacobs was going off. You know what I'm saying? Nelson Aguilar used to be an Eagle and is now over on the side of the Raiders. He had 23 yards and a TD. Teddy Bridgewater, the new quarterback for the Panthers, 22 or 34, 270 yards, 1 TD. CMC, you know who CMC is, Christian McCaffrey, 96 yards and 2 TDs, doing what he does. And the new recruit, Robbie Anderson, 115 yards and a TD. Yes, they picked him up from the Jets. He is not a third-ranked receiver no more. Now he's turned to a second-ranked receiver where he should have been first in that squad, but that's either here nor there. Bottom line is, it was an epic battle, epic beef, but the Raiders, the John Gruden-led Raiders, get on to a win over the Panthers, 34-30. Yes, it was a classic battle, and I recommend you to go watch it anytime you get a chance to. And here we go with this one. The Jaguars and the Colts. Jaguars beat the Colts 27-20. Gardner Minshew says 19 for 20, damn near perfect. 173 yards, 3 TDs. Keenan Cole got a late TD, 47 yards. Phillip Rivers, 36 of 46, 343 yards, a TD, but threw 2 late picks in the fourth quarter. What are you doing, Phillip? Nyheim Hines, he was a good player today too. 73 yards, 1 passing TD, 1 rushing TD. Minshew was sacked 4 times, but he bounced back in the fourth, mainly because of late picks from Rivers, as I just explained. Bottom line here was, everybody thought the Jacksonville Jaguars were tanking, but apparently they did not tank today, because after everything they gave up, everything they had to do, they still stomped out Phillip Rivers, especially in the fourth, and we thought to ourselves, what's going on here? Are the Jaguars really tanking, or are they not? Bottom line is, they get their first win of the season, week 1. And of course, you know we had to save the best for last, the beatdown, the Mayland. You already know what it is, that black and purple express, the Baltimore Ravens polished off those people in Cleveland country, the Cleveland Browns, 38-6. Lamar Jackson, 20 for 25, 275 yards, 3 TDs. J.K. Dobbins, the new rookie, 22 yards, 2 TDs. Mark Andrews making one-handed catches. Look at that OBJ talking about 58 yards and 2 TDs. Baker Mayfield, 20 for 38, 188 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Kareem Hunt had about 72 yards. David Njoku had about 50 yards and a TD. Here we go. And we got a bottom line the first quarter. Baker's first possession, he throws a pick. Second possession, they go for it at their own 25. 4th and 4 on a fake punt. They didn't even give it to Austin Cooper. They gave it to another tight end, and we laid the smackdown on him and got it out of his hands, and we got the ball back and got a field goal. And then after that, Odell comes into the second quarter. He comes in his first pass. He catches it, but then gets a face mask penalty, knocks it back 15 yards. Bottom line on that whole possession, they had to kick it away 3 and out. They were 4th and 41 in that punting situation. Bottom line is, typical Cleveland Brown behavior. And after that, it was just one Baker Mayfield thing after another. The problem is they should have just kept running. If they started off running with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and had some productivity there, they would have made this game exceptional or even possibly close. But bottom line was they started off like trash, so they ended off like trash. And as you can see, number 7 right there, on that 4th and 4 goofiness, there you go, right there. You know what I'm saying? Black and Purple Express ran all over them. All we did was set up the train, and they were just laying on the tracks like an old school cartoon. You know what I'm saying? Running all over these fools. And the bottom line is, we ran all over them. And of course, by the way, Hollywood Brown was getting ridiculous catches too. So there you go. Baltimore solidifying themselves, laying a smackdown early because Lamar Jackson's only going to get better. And I smell a 15-1, even though when I called it 13-3 last year, we even go to 14-2. But I'm smelling 15-1. That's how I'm feeling about this. And this ends the 1 o'clock session of games for today. In the next video, you will see week 1 of the 4:30 and 8:30 games. Guaranteed business being displayed. The Black and Purple Express is out here. We ain't playing no games. We lay smacked out like it's supposed to be laid. And there you go. Look at Kareem Hunt. No, that's not Kareem Hunt. That's like Nick Chubb. But bottom line is, all that running for nothing. 38-6, laying smackdown.